Alright, welcome Pile 1. What does your person want to tell you? Think about your person. I've already pre-shuffled all the decks, but I'm going to shuffle on camera one more time. What does Pile 1's person want to tell them? I want a new start with you. I think about reaching out to you, but I can't make myself do it. I've never felt this connected to anyone before. Maybe maybe everything really does happen for a reason. Okay. So, let's look at this here. I was just going to pull 3, but an extra card came out for you, Pile 1. Lucky you. So, so they want a new start with you. Let's get some clarification on that from the Halloween deck. Spirit, tell us more for Pile 1 about their person wanting a new start with them. So this is a 10 of Pumpkins in reverse. They might be in a previous connection that needs to end first. Maybe a marriage. Doesn't have to be, but there is some home environment that isn't going so well for this person at this time. Maybe their money isn't going so well. Maybe that's what's being said. We'll look further. The King of Ghosts come out. And this is the water sign energy. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Could be in someone's chart, doesn't have to be, but for those of you who like to know the signs. And so, yeah, the 10 of Pentacles. This does talking about, some money issues. They do want a new start with you. Maybe they don't feel that they have anything to offer. Masculines often want to have something monetary to offer, feel that they need that. They're just not fulfilled at this time, and their life is stagnating. I think they're just kind of bored. There's some family member problems here that are indicated with that card, and this water sign energy is frustrated. They're experiencing, disagreements. Maybe they disagreed with you, or responsibilities regarding their family or their business have created conflicts that that have made a wedge between the two of you, causing for the need for a new beginning here. So there is some friction and unhappiness in your person's situation regarding financial and or family problems. There also could be responsibilities for children or elderly parents that create an issue or created an issue that has brought you to a place where a new start is needed in this connection. But also it's talking about emotional baggage and old hurts that may interfere with your happiness. So maybe this person is thinking, that the emotional baggage that they have is a problem, is something that needs to be considered when coming towards you to make this new start, because this is a responsible individual. They're coming across an emotionally mature energy. They have a lot of emotional warmth and love for you. They're very protective towards you and towards the people that they care about. This is someone that doesn't always wear their heart on their sleeve. They're very sensitive, but they often come across the opposite of that. And but they do want to be loved and admired by you. They are easily hurt, and they may not show that, like I said, and they do know how to hold a grudge. So this King of Cups can be controlling and indulgent, and but their friends and the people they care about, family members, really rely on them for support and protection. So I feel that they want to bring this support and protection to you now with the new start. But the new start they're going to want is going to be a deeply emotional, committed, and romantic one. They might be feeling jealous. There might be some possessiveness issues with this person. So trust and openness are what's called for in the connection when you have this new start. If you have this new start, if you agree to this. So let's see. I've never felt this connected to anyone before. What's this about? They've had bad karma in the past. Injustices have been done to this person. Injustices have been done in this connection between the two of you. And so, it's surprising, I think, to this person that they still feel so connected to you when the two of you have had so many issues and aren't together right now. The Justice is a Libra card, so somebody could be Libra in the connection, but take what resonates. This is a general reading meant to reach a lot of different people, so not everything is going to resonate, but with the Justice in reverse, it does say that there are delays regarding legal matters. So, if they're divorcing, it's because they feel so connected to you. And if they're leaving a connection that's been like a committed connection, leaving someone else for you, then it's because of this sense of connectedness towards you. I think, they do feel angry at themselves and resentful for treating you unfairly, that there was unequal, give and take in the connection, or this person might have been extreme, maybe you felt like they loved you one day and the next day you felt you didn't know how they felt, or you felt that they didn't even like you, that sort of thing. So it's a lack of balance in the connection, but they want you to know they do feel connected to you, even though there has been power and control issues in the connection, and they're ready to answer for anything they did wrong towards you. This connection is pretty strong. So with the Six of Bats being in reverse, that is the Six of Swords. And so typically, when it's upright, it's talking about moving from choppy waters to calmer waters. But I think this person has been unwilling to, or unable to, move away from the troubling situation that they found themselves in the past, and that's due to fear of taking a leap and leaving their old ways behind. And they have outdated attitudes that's maybe holding them back. So this does talk about delays and interference, and getting input from other people that complicates their plans. Also, it's saying that this is a warning that this person shouldn't stick. They just need to let go of those beliefs, those old, outworn beliefs that don't benefit them, because those beliefs are rooted in fear, right? And it's all it's done is caused unhappiness in this connection. And because they're recognizing the depth of the connection, I feel that they are making the changes now, because their heart has been awakened, and their mind and spirits are awakened to the new possibilities here in this connection, despite their old beliefs and their unwillingness in the past to make necessary changes. I think about reaching out to you, but I can't make myself do it. So let's get some clarification on that, Spirit. This person thinks about reaching out to you, but can't make themselves do it. We got the Star in reverse. It's Aquarius energy. Five of Ghosts in reverse, which is the Five of Cups in reverse. So this person, they're recovering, they're healing from heartache themselves, from the heartache of, not being with you, of realizing the error of their ways, that they have this deep connection with someone that they let get away, or that they want to have a new start with, but they're afraid, basically, of what that means, of what they're going to have to do, what they're going to have to face and give up in order to make that happen. And so this is why they're unable to make themselves do it at this time. But I feel that they are moving away from hurt and trying to make a new life for themselves, and they're healing and acknowledging the struggles. And I think that's a good first step. I feel like, they want you to let bygones be bygones, and they're looking at you as an opportunity. Like, one door is closing and another door is opening, and you're that other door. You're that star. But maybe they're not sure the star wants them back. Okay, with the star being in reverse, they maybe they wonder if they have unrealistic expectations. If they're trying, they wonder, if they, a water sign king can be, something of a dreamer, more on the mature side, but still has those dreamer tendencies. So they wonder if they're over idealizing the connection with you. If they were to reach out, will you be able to meet those expectations, or will they be able to meet your expectations? But I feel like in the past they haven't seen their partners or their relationships clearly, and this gives them hesitation too about reaching out to you, because what if they're not reading this situation correctly, and then they they contact you and they realize that they had a misunderstanding about what that would mean and how that would turn out. So, but whatever they're doing, they're kind of doing it on the down low in private. They're following, their path quietly, and I think they are focusing with their higher power, to their higher power, on their higher power, and their intuition as well. But their self-esteem isn't the greatest right now. I do think they're working on these things, though. Because they're working on these things. And then maybe everything really does happen for a reason. Clarification on maybe everything really does happen for a reason. Ten of Bats in reverse. So this devastation, this heartache, this pain, this happened for a reason. They're thinking, what happened between you, where there was this ending, this is happening for a reason, is what your person is thinking. And so maybe they kind of feel like they're deceiving themselves to think that that you would give them another chance, and they're stalling due to fears. But that's just going to make things worse, right? Because if they stall too long, you're not going to be there anymore. And the longer they wait, the harder it's going to be to come back. So they need to stop making excuses. I just feel this person's been hurt a lot, and they felt betrayal and disappointment. And, but at least they're seeing more clearly now. And so maybe I think they feel like your disconnect was meant to happen to make them realize some things. And part of that is this connection that they really do feel for you. So let's get some clarification on some of these cards here. I want to get clarification on, I think about reaching out to you, but I can't make myself do it. So are they going to reach out to you, or what's up with that? Seven of Cups, they're definitely considering it. They daydream, they fantasize about reaching out to you, what it would be like to be back with you, what you'll say. They have a lot of emotion for you. It's just, it's up in the air right now. It's up in the air. It is something they think about and fantasize about, but it's just, I don't want to downplay it and say that it's just an option, but it's a possibility that they're considering, right? The Six of Pentacles in reverse. Again, I think that, they're afraid they're going to drain you again by not giving equally to the connection. If they've misread, if they're misreading their own intentions, they don't know if coming back to you or reaching out to you, can they meet your expectations? It goes back to that again. But they feel really romantic and highly emotional towards you. And they're still contemplating, they're indulging in their fantasies and contemplating what they really want. And they feel like the ending happened to allow them to be able to do that. So let's get a Romance Angels card on this. So let's see if we can get some answers from the Romance Angels. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. I do feel like this is what this person, did in order to consider their possibilities and realize what they really want. They retreated. It's time to disconnect from the world. Sense that they fantasize about retreating with you, maybe fantasize about marrying you, being alone with you. But are they going to do it? That's up in the air. The Release Your Ex card came out in reverse. They're not releasing this, and heart-to-heart conversations are needed. Honestly, discuss your feelings with one another. Okay? Now I'm going to ask the angel answers a question for you. So think of a question regarding this reading or this person. See if we can get an answer. I think with the heart-to-heart conversations coming out, that is a good sign that they will reach out eventually. No. Okay, maybe not. So whatever you answered, the answer is no. The bottom of the deck is big, happy changes. I can't leave you on the no card. Spirit, why is the no card here? I mean, we have heart-to-heart conversations. So I'm assuming it's saying, that heart-to-heart conversations are needed. Why else would that card come out? And this person does want to communicate with you, but they can't make themselves do it right now. So maybe it's saying, that a conversation needs to be had, but they just can't make themselves do it right now. The Ten of Swords. So it's a painful ending. And this is happening in order to clear things away for something new to happen. And so for a portion of you, this person wants to keep their options open. I'm sorry. They have freed themselves from connections in order to give themselves the space to really consider their options and just kind of play with the possibilities right now. And for some of you, like I said, I do feel this person cares about you a lot and considers you a strong possibility. And that this is just explaining that the freeing themselves is what was necessary. I don't think they are letting you go. I don't think that you're letting them go. I think that you will have a heart-to-heart conversation, but if you're thinking it's going to be anytime soon, it's probably not, because of this, you know, this ten of swords, which swords can be months. So this can, I'm going to go ahead and venture to say that maybe it will be winter. It can be anywhere from this winter to 10 months from now that you, this person may get the courage and the sense to actually reach out to you, okay? Alright, thank you for watching Pile 1. I hope that was helpful in some way. And, yeah. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Welcome, Pile 2. Got the cards shuffled and ready to go. Think about your person. We're going to see what your person wants to tell you. Shuffle one more time here. There's someone else I have to deal with first. I did it. I cut off the karmic. Karmic in this deck is just another way of saying third party, okay? And a third party can be anything: family, friends, another person, or work. You are my dream woman. Okay, dream woman, dream man. Most of the people who watch my videos are feminines, but take it as it applies. So, alright, let's get started. Let's look a little deeper into this. So let's clarify. There's someone else I have to deal with first. Who they have to deal with? What could they possibly have to deal with first? If you're their dream woman, why do they have to deal with someone else? Let's see. Excuse me. They're healing from a broken heart or a painful emotional situation. And the Three of Imps. So they put in the work on a situation and they're waiting to see how that plays out. This could be somebody from their past, maybe their ex. If they're getting over a broken heart, if you know this to be true, then that could definitely be the case, that they're recovering from a broken heart situation. But with the Three of Bats, which is the Three of Swords, it's in reverse, so that's a better, that's more positive than if it were upright, in the sense that it means that they're making more out of the unhappy situation. Might be being a little bit dramatic in response to whatever it is that's disappointed them. And there's been some truth, that's hurt them. But, once they face that, things are going to improve. And they're going to pull themselves together and get on with their lives, okay? But whatever it was a painful situation. And again, it's having to do with past problems and trying to make things better. So this person is trying to let go of them. Jealousy issues and issues of guilt and fear and regret. And again, it's about accepting a loss and moving on. So let's see. Let's look to the Three of Imps. So the Three of Imps is the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is typically talking about that you've manifested something into your life. And I think they've manifested moving on from this painful situation, whatever that might be. I do think that they feel strongly about you. They're just not ready yet for a commitment and stuff. And maybe, for that reason, there's a little bit of an imbalance between your feelings. One of you feels more for the other or is more emotionally invested than the other is at this time. And if they're the ones who are less invested here, it could, be because they're getting over this painful disappointment, right? Let's look at, I did it, I cut off the karmic. So they cut off the karmic. Then this is the painful situation or the disappointment that they have manifested an ending to and are letting go of right now. And let's get some clarification on this. Clarify, I did it, I cut off the karmic. We've got the Ten of Ghosts. So the Ten of Ghosts in reverse talks about an unhappy home. And then the Strength card is talking about gaining the strength and the courage to face some battle. We saw that one of the things that they have to face is just facing the truth about the situation. So that's what they're dealing with, and that's the truth of the situation is why they are breaking it off with the karmic. So whatever truth they learned made them realize that the karmic was not the right place for them to be. And that's lucky for you if you want this person. So, but this reverse 10 again just repeats, the message earlier about disharmony and disappointment, but it's more focused on their home. So maybe they lived with this other person, or if this is a family situation, then there's disharmony with their family. When things just didn't turn out the way that your person expected they would, and maybe the karmic or their family members put too much emphasis on stuff and not enough emphasis on love. So your person had to face the truth about that and realize, that their values are different from the values of the karmic or the family. And it just could be that, they didn't, if this was a marriage, they didn't get along with the family members of the karmics or their kids from a former relationship, something like that. So hope you can see that. So there is a rift at home that they are, having to have the strength to deal with, and I think, with the Strength card being upright, that's a positive thing because it shows inner power and overcoming weakness and being persistent. And that they're going to, they've come through difficulties and relied on their own inner strength to solve the problems here. And that included, facing their ego and dealing with their ego desires as well. So whatever part of them resonated with the superficial connection is now in check, at least, at this time. And they're really looking for achieving, harmony within themselves and pursuing their true desires, their heart's desires. And I feel that your person's being patient in order to achieve their desires. So pretty serious. They're pretty serious about cutting off the karmic. That's why they did it. They're telling you they did that. So you are my dream woman. Let's get some clarification on that one. No, it's pretty positive. Spirit, why does pile 2's person say that the viewer is their dream person? Clarify. We've got the 5 of Imps in reverse and the King of Pentacles. So I feel like they want to move towards you because they see you as a stable person, someone that they can have the harmony that they're seeking. The King of Pentacles is a pretty stable energy. Somebody that's pretty grounded and successful and strong. And so you be an earth sign. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus have it in your chart, or your person does, for those of you who like to know the signs. But this is someone who is substantial, not shallow, the opposite of what the karmic showed up as in the reading. So you're the opposite of that. You have substance. Sometimes this can represent, a boss or a father, for those who think that this third party situation may be more to do with family or work. But um, as in terms of, you being their dream person, it's because they feel that they can have a mature and stable relationship with you where you support one another. It's going to be more mutual, a mutual support situation. And so, yeah, there's still going to be, a little bit more of a focus on status or security or money, as is always the case with this card. And Pentacles are about finances, but it's generally, a positive card. So, with the Five of Imps in reverse, this is, not going to be necessarily easy for them to be with their dream woman, because there's going to be some adjustments that need to be made. This is a challenging situation, and there are some old attitudes and behaviors that need to be released in order for this to come together and be the way that you both want it. Because so compromise is needed with the Five of Wands in reverse, or Five of Imps. And if you don't compromise in a way that works for both of you, nobody's going to win here. That's what that card is saying, that there's some risk involved, they realize, in coming towards you, but that's true when you're trying to start or restart any romantic connection, right? And again, this is about being flexible and resolving your disputes in a mature way. And, try not to be selfish or self-centered. And I think your person sees you as someone who is flexible. You're not as selfish or self-centered as the karmic. Maybe you do extend yourself to see their point of view more, and they like that. Imps are fire sign energy: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Get one more clarifying card. Yep, and with the Six of Wands, this person does see, you're their dream person. Maybe they think you're just so much better than they are. That's a fun card to come out in this position. But Six of Wands talks about victory, of conquering something, of winning, and gaining the support of other people in the community for what you've achieved. They would, achieving their dream person is quite an accomplishment, they feel. And they feel quite passionate about that. Okay. Again, there is a bit of ego that is present that would need to be sort of dealt with and compromised about, meeting each other halfway. But this is generally a positive card. And with the Nine of Swords here, this coming out to clarify that they have to deal with this other person first. This has been a nightmare, dealing with this other person and manifesting and ending to this connection so that they can move towards their dream person. It's kept your person up late at night, mental anxiety, and really just have a negative thought pattern around the situation that keeps repeating itself, about thinking of all the worst case scenarios. So this isn't completely dealt with, but it's really close to being done. Internally, your person has already finished this with the karmic. They've cut them off. There's just some practical issues regarding, their home, especially if they're married or live together, that need to be resolved. And even if they don't, there's still some loose ends that need to be tied up. But this karmic is essentially cut off. But, for this reason, this Eight of Wands in reverse, your person is feeling overwhelmed, like things are moving really fast. And so that's overwhelming, but they do see you as their victory and as their dream person and someone they can have a stable, secure relationship with. That's going to be passionate. So I like that. Let's get a Romance Angels card on this. Finances and career, financial issues are a factor in your life right now. So that's why your person's feeling overwhelmed. That's why, any delays that are occurring, or the fact that, they are having to deal still with this other person, even though they've cut them off. It's due to finances. Okay. And also, everything else that I said in the reading about this person and their interest in finances. But I think it's something that you can compromise over. I'm going to ask the angels a question. So think of a question. It could be about this reading, or it can be about this person, or in general. We'll see if we can get an answer from the Angel Answers deck. Yes. So whatever you asked, the answer is yes. If you asked if this person is worth waiting for, then the answer is yes. At the bottom of the deck, we've got Don't Stop. And yeah, there's your answer. Thank you for tuning in, Pile 2. I appreciate that. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the bell notification to receive notifications when I upload a new video. And thank you to my new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And thanks for supporting the channel. I'll talk to you next time. Alright, welcome Pile 3. What does your person want to tell you? I've pre-shuffled the decks, but I'm going to shuffle on camera, so think about your person. Shuffle one more time here. I regret giving up on you. Your patience and hard work will pay off, I promise. Everything reminds me of you. Okay. Let's see. Let's get some clarification on these. So they gave up on you, did they? Let's see. Spirit, please clarify. I regret giving up on you. Ace of Ghosts. That's the Ace of Cups. So this is a cup of overwhelming emotions. It's also the cup about new love or new romance. And then we've got the Hermit in reverse. It's just talking about not learning your lessons, refusing to learn lessons. So they refused to learn lessons about love, evidently, and regarding their emotions on the situation. They were well, let's see. I think they, ignored or rejected some of the wisdom that you offered them regarding this connection. And so they're self-evaluating, what their real hopes and goals are regarding every area of their life, basically, but particularly this connection. Because they don't want to be alone. They do feel isolated from you, and they don't like it. I think this person is trying to fill their time with social activities, going out, maybe with friends, or just distracting themselves to avoid facing themselves. And, they've been disappointed in this romantic situation. They gave up on it because At the time they were no longer fulfilled, but then they didn't know what would fulfill them because they hadn't looked within enough. They didn't self-evaluate their real goals in life and stuff. So now they're doing that. And what they've come to understand is that that they want love, that love is important to them, that they have a lot of emotions for you and love for you, and they regret giving up on that. So, wow. You represented happiness to them. And what the connection card called for was for nurturing. It needed to be nurtured in order to blossom. And maybe you said something along those lines to this person at some time, that they weren't, contributing to the connection enough. But they felt unfulfilled because of their own confusion about their own values and what they wanted, and they were confused, and now they're waking up and realize that what they had with you was special. I mean, the Ace of Cups speaks about divine love, so that's why they are regretting giving up on you, okay? So everything reminds me of you. Let's get some clarification on that. What reminds them of the viewer? We've got the Two of Pumpkins in reverse, and we've got the Fool in reverse. So, let's see. I don't feel like they're having a lot of fun right now. I don't feel like they're feeling very balanced. They're not feeling very balanced. Maybe the fact that they're not happy, they're not having a good time, is what is reminding them that, they had a good time when they were with you. Because the Two of Pumpkins in reverse just says that they feel overwhelmed, and that they feel like they have their hands full. And like I said, having trouble balancing their work and their leisure time. So there is, some instability at work or with money. For some, regarding health, there might be some instability there as well, but I think when they feel restless, they realize that the reason they're feeling restless is because they're not with you. And, I don't know if you helped this person financially, or if not financially, like you helped them with their responsibilities. And now they're missing that, help, And so with the Fool card in reverse, this is saying that, Again, it's just repeating the Two of Pumpkins energy with regard to feeling restless and bored. They're just not having fun. They're not having fun without you. And they want to try something new, And whenever they think about trying something new, they think about you. I mean, maybe you're someone that likes to try something new, or got them to come out of their comfort zone and try something new. So, yeah. Yep, and I just feel like they, when they're reminded of you, they do take a closer look at your partnership and your relationship and realize that it wasn't what they thought. It wasn't, unfulfilling. They were fulfilled when they were with you. And so they thought that they would have greater freedom, but they do, but they aren't enjoying it. So they should have thought more before they acted. And so if, they basically they regret the breakup or separation. They feel like they were hasty. Okay, so your patience and hard work will pay off, I promise. Patience and hard work. Clarify patience and hard work. What patience and hard work is the viewer doing with regards this person? Well, you're having faith in the connection with the Seven of Bats. And Seven of Bats talks about putting in the work. It does talk about you're sweating in the connection. You care about the connection, you know. You took what you can get from it, and because this person wasn't offering, their fair share, so you just kind of rolled with it and took what you could get from it. And so, but now you're impatient. You don't want to have just faith in the connection. You want to come out of this stagnation, and you want to see some action. And with the Four of Bats in reverse, so you've gone within two, you've healed as necessary, and you've taken your respite. I think you're feeling restless too. But, pretty much for the same reason as this person. So, what are you doing that? It's almost like you're making yourself sick over the situation, right? You need to allow your mind and body and spirit to recover so the situation doesn't get worse, is what the Four of Bats in reverse is saying. And you felt like giving up on this connection. Maybe you have, but then you just have this deep faith in the situation. You give up on the connection, and then you regret it. Like, you question whether or not you should give up on the connection. So this is talking about a temporary separation that was needed in order to heal old wounds and gain clarity and to work on yourself. So that's why this person is saying, that your patience and hard work will pay off, they promise. So they're tuned in enough to see, what you're going through. Let's get some clarification. Just one more clarifying card for each message, please. Yeah, this is the Six of Swords, talking about they thought they were moving to calmer waters when they gave up on you, and we already discussed, that they did not, and they know that now. We've got the Queen of Swords. Everything reminds me of you. So the Queen of Swords is an air sign energy. This is somebody that doesn't take any BS. And, maybe there is somebody that they know or have seen on the street that reminds them of you, that looks like you or acts like you, or they see on, it could be that they see on television or movies that remind them of their Queen of Swords, is, you're coming across as. And so they do think about communicating with you. Maybe if they see somebody that's doing the type of work that you do, that reminds them of you as well. But they do just feel like you're a very ambitious person. Okay. Okay. And then clarifying your patience and hard work will pay off, I promise, is the Ten of Swords in reverse. So the Ten of Swords is the card of devastation and betrayal, exhaustion and giving up, but it's in reverse. So I feel that this person has some fear about taking steps towards you. This card says they're going to stop making excuses and choose a course of action. And that, you know, you're still hurting from the deception and the disappointment and the betrayal that they caused you. But, your patience is going to pay off. And you're seeing the situation more clearly. And I think this person, I feel like there's an end coming to the sense that they think that they can't be in a connection with and be free at the same time, because freedom is important to this person. That's why they gave up. Part of the reason why they gave up in the past, or why they gave up. So they're seeing now that they just want to treat you better. And they realize they can have a connection, even a commitment, and still have the sense of freedom that they long for. They don't have to run away from connections because they are afraid they're going to lose their freedom, that they can have you and still have a sense of freedom, okay? So let's get a Romance Angels card here. Okay. This is a past life relationship. You have known each other before, so part of what you've gone through up till now has been working through past karma, unfinished business from a past life. And so this divine love that I talked about with the Ace of Ghosts is because, this is a deeply rooted love that's transcended decades or centuries. It's a deep love. And so trust came out. The situation is calling for you to have faith, and we saw, that you do have faith. It's been hard work to maintain that faith, and you have doubted it a lot of times, and it's really exhausted you, but you need to continue to take care of you, and don't let it get you down, because the situation is calling for you to have faith. And that's what the Romance Angels want you to know. So I'm going to ask a question to the Angel Answers card. So think about a question. Could be about anything. This reading. This connection. Got your question? The situation will improve within the next few weeks. Nice. Happy ending. I love it. Thank you for tuning in, Pile 2. I hope that was able to help you in some way. Appreciate your supporting the channel. Go ahead and hit the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification to receive notifications if you'd like to. And to contact me for a personal reading, the description box below has all my information, okay? So thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Pile 4. I've shuffled the cards. Let's see what your person wants to tell you. So think about your person as I shuffle one more time. Remember, this is a general reading. Don't force apply. Use your intuition to decide, if a reading applies to you, if you are in question about that, okay? So what does your person want to tell you, Pile 4? You don't know how bothered I really am. I've never felt this connected to anyone before. Maybe everything really does happen for a reason. Okay. So we'll start with those there. So you don't know how bothered I really am. Let's look at the Halloween tarot cards and see what we can get. Spirit, please clarify that card. You don't know how bothered I really am. For pile 4. So you've got the Queen of Bats. So this is the Queen of Swords. Air sign energy. And then we've got the Eight of Ghosts. It's the Eight of Ghosts in reverse. So they want to come back to you. They are really bothered by the situation and the fact that you are not together, evidently. So that's what these cards are saying. They look up to you as somebody. Well, it's like a queen, somebody who has learned from their pain and become wiser. Somebody that when they're on the same team with you, they give 110%. But you're also someone that's not to be messed with. And maybe you've become this way as a result of this connection. But you're a very independent, authoritative person that you're probably pretty good with communication and yeah. Maybe they might be seeing you being single, or that you're really focused on your career right now. Take what resonates, but I feel like they feel that you have shared ideas, ideals, and interests with them, and for that reason, with the Eight of Cups or the Eight of Ghosts in this deck, they're wanting to return to you. Okay, because for them to need to return to you, evidently they turned away at some point. And so I think they want to stick it out. If they haven't, left, they've considered it, and they're wanting to stick it out and devote themselves to the situation and make it work. And I think there's a good chance. There's a chance that it will work. From what I'm seeing from the cards so far. And they want a second chance, and they think, it might take some time, but that eventually that the two of you can succeed together. Maybe this person has been wandering aimlessly, uncertain and unable to commit, longing for escape, but I don't think this person wants to be alone. They want to work on your connection. Cooperate everything. So let's see here. Yeah, they are really bothered. They feel lost without you. And maybe everything really does happen for a reason. So what's this talking about? Let's get clarity on maybe everything really does happen for a reason, Spirit. This is the King of Imps or the King of Fire. It could be a fire sign that you're dealing with. If you're dealing with the masculine, it could be a fire sign. So let's say a very positive card in terms of the connection. They feel like they met you for a reason, that even though you've had difficulties and they've retreated and held you at arm's length, they feel like everything that you've been through, how bothered they really are at present, and all the trials that you've been through that's grown you in this mature woman or mature person has happened because you're meant to be together. You're meant to have this this successful and passionate, relationship or marriage or home together with the Ten of Ghosts. The King of Imps is a passionate, creative, usually pretty emotionally intelligent, successful, loyal person. And, representing, a romantic situation. It's very, like I said, fortunate. I think this is a person that wants to bring honesty to the connection. I think they're a good match for the Queen of Swords. They're probably on the adventurous side. That might have contributed to them wandering away. But I I feel like they think that, your relationship is meant to be a strong one with plenty of affection and passion, and that, that you guys complement each other well. That you've got a lot in common. Maybe you're both outgoing and creative. And, with the Ten of Ghosts, there's love here. They love you. And they look at you like you're their emotional fulfillment. So, I mean, that's one of the best cards in the deck in terms of relationships. It's the comfort card, the happiness card, domestic bliss and harmony. They look at, your potential as a couple as one that could bring them rewards and completion, and that it's going to be a time of where you can reap what you've sown, so that everything that you've put into this connection, everything that's happened for the purpose of allowing you to reap this harvest and have abundance together. So it does represent, a joyful, supportive, loving relationship and a happy family life. So if you don't have a family, then they're thinking about family with you. And they want to share openly with you and feel secure in the situation, and they want to make you feel secure. I've never felt this connected to anyone before. Let's get clarification on that. Wow. Okay, the Ace of Bats is the Ace of Swords. They feel really connected, spiritually guided to you. This is a spiritually supported connection, that you have a lot of the same ideals, that you communicate well together, that you think a lot alike. And the Sun card, it's Leo energy, could be in someone's chart, but they... They feel really connected to you because you are their joy, their pleasure, their happiness. They feel warm in your presence. They want to nurture this relationship. They feel carefree, and that you guys have fun and play together. You make them feel like a kid again in some ways. And so both of those are extremely positive cards in this position. They just really they want this new beginning with you, and if it hasn't happened already, it's going to happen. And if it is happening, well, they have, I imagine that you guys are having a really good time together. There's a lot of warmth in the connection. This is what this card is saying here. And this is why they feel so connected to you. This is certainly how they're feeling. That this relationship, yeah, you have so much in common mentally, and they've got clarity about the fact that you're the sun to this person. You're very important to this person. And then you make them feel alive. So a new day is dawning here, if it hasn't already, and it's a positive for this connection. And again, it talks about, being, a creative couple, and starting a new project together. You're going to feel content and comfortable. This person feels, that they feel content and comfortable with this connection. And they really just enjoy being with you. And it's talking about a bright and beautiful romance coming in. Does it get any more positive than that? I'm not sure. I don't even feel like I need to clarify anything. So let's get a Romance Angels card here. Here's a Romance Angels card for pile 4. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Very good. So, yeah, you're going to reap the harvest here. Everything you've been through, including the waiting that you've done with regard to seeing this connection come to fruition, has been worth it. Anything else from the romance angels? Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith bring you romance. Okay. And now I'm going to pull a card from the Angel Answers. So think of a question if you have a question regarding this connection or regarding this reading. Go ahead and think about it. Okay, it's not the right time, but it will be worth waiting for. And we also got the romance card came out, so I'm going to read from that. A very important relationship is about to enter or re-enter your life, and or has recently entered your life. This romance that is the one you've been waiting for. Like all partnerships, there may be ups and downs, but don't let that deter you or shake your confidence. Have faith that love is coming your way to stay. All right. And if your question is about a current relationship, expect both parties involved to become closer to one another. Past disagreements will fade away and trust will grow. All relationships have peaks and valleys. This card indicates an upward movement to a new level of dedication and intimacy. And this can include engagement, marriage, or a form of recommitment to one another. I love it. I love it. All right. Thank you for tuning in, Pile 4. I hope that was able to help you and that you enjoyed that reading. I certainly did. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hit the bell notification to receive notifications when I upload a new video. If you'd like a personal reading, my details are in the description box below. And I will talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Welcome, Pile 5. I shuffled off camera. Let me shuffle a couple more times while you're here. Think about your person. What do they want to tell you? What does Pile 5's person want to tell them, Spirit? I'm very tempted by you. First message is, I'm very tempted by you. I hate waiting just as much as you do. I don't want to admit I am wrong. Okay. So let's get started and get some clarifications on these messages using the tarot. I am very tempted by you. Alrighty. So we have the Three of Bats and the World card in reverse for I'm very tempted by you. So there has been some pain and heartbreak in this connection. I'm going to say you guys are you are separated. And this person, you know, I don't think they find it very easy to be tempted by you, okay? There's some heartache and pain that that you've both been caused, but this person is feeling a lot of regret for the heartache that they caused you. Then they don't want this situation, they don't want this cycle to end within this connection with the World card in reverse. So they are unhappy about this disappointment, but I feel that it is temporary and it's not the end of the world. Okay. Maybe the truth hurts and you know, you had to face it in order to improve things, and that caused a rift in the connection. But in the end, it's going to be for the better, okay? And I think that you're both going to work past your problems and make things better. And so this card is asking that, you know, if you have any jealousy or guilt or fear, regrets regarding this connection, that you let that go. Your person, certainly, I think that's what they're working on, is letting that, you know, regret and guilt and fear go. because they don't want to accept the loss here. They don't, it isn't the end of the world. They don't want to accept the loss, though. And so, I feel like your person doesn't know which way to go with this. So they're just sitting and feeling temptation for you. But there is or has been an obstacle to your guys' success in this relationship. And so it's stuck. It's just stuck at this time. And I feel like there is a sense of divine timing where the universe is just going to have you guys go through this until you learn your lessons, let go of what needs to be let go of, and realize, what direction you want to take this in together. And then, in that amount of time, things will just kind of right themselves. And so, when you reconcile, things might not be, exactly up to your expectations because of the heartache that's been caused, but at least there will be improvement. So, there's going to still need to be work in the connection. And things just didn't go according to your plans or your person's plans, despite your efforts. And so you still see that there are areas that need work. If you are still together physically, then you still see that there's areas that need work. So I feel like, don't let frustration or the sense of being stuck right now cause you to give up, because happier times may await just around the corner, okay? I think this person wants you to know that happier times are just around the corner, and they haven't given up on this connection, even though it's caused you heartache and them. They do have regrets about it, and they've learned and are learning their lessons, and that, there's a sense that in time it's going to come back around, and it might not be perfect, but it's worth it. For I don't want to admit I am wrong, let's get a couple of cards for that. So they don't want to admit they are wrong. We've got the Eight of Imps, which is the Eight of Wands, and the Tower. So they haven't had a choice except to admit, that what they have done has resulted in this Tower moment, this upset to this connection, But it also was something that was destined to happen, okay? The universe needed to take down something that wasn't built on a strong foundation. And so this might have been the result of, passionate words that were exchanged, perhaps infidelity, or just really, angry words that were exchanged in the heat of the moment. And so this ending has occurred, within this connection that's going to result in a new beginning, okay? But, your person, I feel they just got overexcited. Maybe they were tempted by something, else. A new experience doesn't have to be like another person, but it could have been a temptation for, some other project, or it's just a busy period in their lives. And, that helps to keep them distracted. But regardless, this Tower moment is like catapulting them back towards their desire, which is you. And I think, they probably are very excited for that, for you to get back in contact with one another. And even though it's kind of risky, they feel it's, it's worth it. And you two will have, if you haven't already had, a passionate and exciting romance. And it might be happening more quickly and more suddenly than you realize. Okay. So that could be too. With the Tower card is talking about surprises. It's not always just like a major upset that's in a negative way. Sometimes it's simply talking about a big surprise. So the big surprise might be just how quickly the universe delivers you guys back to each other. And that change, that change is coming, where this person, they didn't want to admit they were wrong, but they're going to change that attitude because they have to in order to have you back. So it's destruction of that ego that prevented that person from, not wanting to admit they were wrong, basically. And they've ignored and denied things that, they needed to have faced up to, but we saw that both of you have been forced to sort of face up to some truths, and one of those truths is this person's ego and preventing them to, communicate in a fair way that acknowledges that not only are you wrong on certain things, they are wrong on certain things as well. And this is a necessary change. And so those old habits are outdated. You guys' ways of relating are improving. And the change was necessary for more freedom in the connection, and for you to, have that passionate, exciting connection. With the I hate waiting as much as you do, let's get some cards on that. So we've got the Knight of Pumpkins in reverse, and the Magician in reverse. So I feel like this offer that your person wants to extend to you, this communication, it's really been delayed probably for quite a while. And the manifestation with the Magician in reverse is talking about that the manifestation, even though you've tried to manifest one another back into each other's lives, it just hasn't happened yet, And that's this waiting. This is what this waiting. So your person does hate it as much as you do. And part of that was due to stubbornness, that this connection's been stagnating, and a fear of stepping outside of the box, and just relying on old ways of being that prevented this person. So this person was being like a stick in the mud, really. But we did see the changes here with the Tower moment. So this person, I think they are going to come towards you. But I think you've just been kind of bored with the situation, maybe. And just for the fact this person hasn't been willing to make the necessary effort to revive this romance. And so it's just kind of been slogging along, and maybe they've been worried too much about their money and their security or something like that. But they've been wanting this change, but they were afraid to go for it. And that's why the Tower moment stepped in and cleared the way for your person. But I still feel, that your person is experiencing quite a bit of self-doubt and can't really see clearly as to how they're going to make this happen. And maybe they still, either interpersonal skills, relationship skills, confidence are still lacking. Maybe they don't feel like they know enough about this relationship and where you're at with it to chart their way back to you in a way that's going to result in a successful reconnection. That could be for some. But I think your person's energy is essentially been low. They kind of gets them down that there's been so much waiting and so much lack of understanding on how to fix things. And I think there's part of that has been strategic on the part of the person, with the Magician in reverse representing manipulative behavior or power struggles, and deception and keeping secrets. So I mean, that's probably part of what separated you in the first place. So I think your person, they are lonely and tired of being away from you, though. That's why they're saying that they hate waiting as much as you do. Okay. So I'm going to get one more clarifying card for each message. Then we'll get a Romance Angels card. Okay, so we've got the Three of Diamonds in reverse, and that's representing the lack of cooperation in the connection. And, wow. So that's two threes that came out. That could have some significance for someone. 21. Actually, it's three threes. Okay, so this time, because the World card is 21, and in numerology, 21 is 3. Then we have the Three of Bats and the Three of Pentacles. So that's indicating a 9, which is a completion of the cycle. This cycle of not being cooperating, not cooperating with one another, of experiencing, the healing from the heartbreak and the stagnation. That cycle is ending. So, because it's been about, despite everything, this person's still so tempted by you, but again, it was just like they didn't know how. I don't know if this is a young person or just someone that's not very good at relationships for whatever reason, but it's again going back to lacking the abilities to have an adult and healthy relationship together. And so I just think they left you feeling unappreciated, and this card's saying they're probably feeling unappreciated as well. So I feel like you've both invested a lot in the relationship, though it may not seem like it with this person. And I just feel like there was, that was part of the reason why this is still talking about why the heartache occurred in the first place. Lack of reciprocation of effort. And then we've got the Three of Staffs. So this person is seeing the error of their ways, and they want to move forward, and they want to move forward with you. They're ready for a new adventure, and they want to express this to you. I think they're ready to share themselves with you and devote themselves to this connection. I feel like you are this person's dream, and that's why they are ready to get over their ego and admit they're wrong, whatever it is they have to admit they're wrong about, and change that attitude in general. That part of them that so stubbornly refuses to, see things from another point of view. This card does indicate commitment, so if they didn't want to commit to you in the past, they're saying they were wrong about not wanting that engagement or that commitment, perhaps marriage. And you both have very passionate feelings for each other, and will be celebrating your love. They want to celebrate their love with you. And I hate is waiting. Okay, waiting card. Blah blah blah. Can't talk. So Four of Pentacles in reverse. So again, this is taking their guards down and allowing themselves to show, what's in their heart, and to be more sharing with you, more open. They realize, it's this limited attitude that they've had that has caused the stagnation in the problems here, and holding on too tight to their viewpoints, and that caused obstacles and delays to you guys moving forward together. And it was all due to fear of losing control in the relationship. Maybe they felt like they were losing their power to you, and maybe they felt trapped in the connection for some reason. Could be financial reasons, but they're getting over that now. So all of this is saying that revalidating the earlier message about getting over the obstacles and coming back together. So let's get a Romance Angels card. Romance Angels card for pile 5. What more can you tell the Spirit about pile 5 situation? Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you are guided to take. I do feel this person is making the effort, and they just don't want this connection to be gone and done with, and they're not letting it go, and neither are you. I don't feel you're letting it go either. It's not over. Anything else? Okay. So go ahead and ask a question. Think of a question in your mind that you'd like to know the answer to, and I will ask the Angel Answers card and see if we can get an answer to your question. All right. Look for a sign. So any synchronicities that you see that reminds you of this person or gives you ideas about this connection, then you're going to want to take that as a sign. And compromise. Compromise is going to be needed in this connection. One person shouldn't be having all the power or more of the power in the connection. We already saw that's a fear of this person, or that they felt in the past that they had given up too much power and that there was a lack of cooperation with the Three of Pentacles. So yeah, definitely want to compromise going forward with this person, if you want them back. So that is all I've got for you tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in, Pile 5. If you liked it, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you'd like a personal reading, contact information's in the description box below. Alright, Pile 6. I pre-shuffled all the cards. I'm going to shuffle one more time. We're going to see what your person wants to tell you. I understand what we have together more than you know. I settled for something I no longer want. I don't want to disrupt the life or lives of my child or children. Okay. So let's get some more information on this. This person has children, and if they don't, this might not be the right pile for you. So I understand what we have together more than you know. Let's get some clarification on that. Okay, this person is coming out of a time of heartbreak, heartache. And this was caused due to this lack of love. The Ace of Ghosts, the Ace of Cups. So, and this person really hurt you. And I think, they understand that they did. And so they're acknowledging that. This was a delay in the start of a connection or taking it to the next level. It seemed promising, but it didn't turn out the way that you'd hoped. And so this is saying, that it wasn't the right time. And there just were a lot of obstacles and limitations in the connection that led to the disappointment, the great disappointment that caused this Three of Bats, or which is the same thing as the Three of Swords, to happen here. But with the Three of Swords being in, it's in reverse, so it's saying that that this disappointment is temporary and not the end of the world. And it could have been that there was some harsh truths that were exchanged or found out in the connection that resulted in this resulted in these hurt feelings. And I think if this person looks like they've moved on with their lives, they just want you to know that they understand that what you had together. Because there's a sense that you might not understand. You might just think that they hurt you and they didn't want you, or they didn't want to elevate the relationship the same way that you did. But it was really a matter of the timing not being right and other outside circumstances affecting the connection. It wasn't that they didn't love you, and it wasn't that they didn't want the same thing as you. They just didn't want it at that time. So I feel that you've worked past a lot of these problems, and I think this person would desire to make things better, but there would be a need of, I sense some jealousy and some fear around the connection because of what's happened, and some regrets. Your person does have regrets for hurting you, and sometimes, this card represents accepting a loss and moving on. So if it looks like this person has moved on, if that's the case, that doesn't mean that they didn't understand what you had together. And same thing, if you've moved on, I think this is a validation to let you know that, this connection with this person, if you thought you guys actually had something significant, you actually did, okay? But this person does have regrets, and if you're still holding on to, guilt or fears or just hard feelings about the connection, this card's guiding you to go ahead and let those go. Because it's not healthy to hold on to those, and it's not beneficial to the connection. I settled for something I no longer want. Let's get a couple cards on that. So it looks like since the timing wasn't right between the two of you, they settled for something else. Let's see. We've got the Page of Imps in reverse. Lots of immaturity in their choice, evidently. And the Chariot, and they just sort of willfully moved towards something for immature reasons. Part of that, was some passionate reasons. We've got that's a fire sign energy and Cancer energy for those of you who like to know the signs. So I feel that your person is disappointed, of course, because they're saying that they no longer want this, so they're disappointed with how things have turned out in their current circumstances. I feel like they're mixed up about it, and they didn't know if it was just that there were delays occurring in this current situation, or if it was just that this was a dud. I think they're starting to realize that it's a dud. I think they want to get out of this and start something else, but they find themselves on the wrong track. And I feel like this person, if they're with someone else, they're not behaving in a trustworthy manner towards this person, or the person they're with isn't trustworthy. There's not trust in this connection. It's just a lot of childish behavior, and some of this is stemming from their childhood, that they can't have a healthy adult relationship, and it's interfering with this relationship. And maybe they had unrealistic expectations with this current person they're with, and regardless of how technically they may be committed to this person, there's a lack of commitment present with this because of the Page of Imps being shown here. There is a lack of commitment, and what the Chariot is showing is like refinding balance and using your willpower to move forward from something. And in a relationship reading, it can talk about your person moving away off on their own to get a sense of their own desires and their own accomplishments, like take care of their own business instead of being like coupled up. And this way they can kind of get balanced again, and settle their inner conflicts within themselves, so that they can reestablish what their personal goals are outside of a relationship. And this will make them a healthier person, so when they want to come back into a relationship. But I feel like this person's being carried. This is a major arcana, so it's saying that the universe is helping this person be carried towards their destiny or their destination, and pretty quickly at that. So this destination is away from this person they're currently with, at the situation they're currently in. And your person's rolling with the punches for the most part. But I do think that they are focusing on themselves too. And not really thinking about chasing a new love at this time, because it might not be the right time to start a romance if they're coming out of something that they no longer want. So I think they just have a lot of conflicted feelings and attitudes about the current connection, about you, about just everything. And that is and that has them off balance. I don't want to disrupt the life or lives of my children. So if they have, children, this part of the reading will resonate for those who have children. And if your person doesn't have children, it can still resonate, just then this part probably wouldn't apply. Let's see what the cards say. So they don't want to disrupt the lives of their children. We've got the Four of Ghosts in reverse. So it's talking about taking a new approach towards old problems, and those old problems are related to their family, related to their home. So if they have kids at home, they're in this connection that they settled for that they no longer want, but if there are kids in that connection, then they just don't want to leave their kids, and they don't want to disrupt their lives and make it harder for their kids because they love their kids, obviously. The Ten of Cups is all about love and happiness, domestic bliss, but we see that they're not very happy with their current situation, with their current partner. But they maybe they're keeping up sort of a facade for their kids that this is a happy partnership, or that there's a happy family life occurring here, but we know that's not true. But with their kids, they're very loving and open and sharing with their kids, and they want their kids to feel secure. And that's understandable. So that, disrupting their home would make the kids feel insecure. And I just think your person, they do need, the time and space for themselves, even away from the kids, in order to understand how to handle this and manage the situation and get out of the circumstances that they're unhappy with right now, without creating the sense of insecurity in the kids. I feel like there has been a lot of busyness and activity around the home life of your person because of the intensity of the emotional situation they find themselves in. And I think that your person's pretty worn out from this whole keeping up this family facade, but also they're just doing it for the love of their kids, and not because they really love being where they're at or with the person they're with. I think they just want to regroup and figure out what to do. And they're reassessing the relationship that's lost its luster. And again, they're hesitating to enter into any sort of new affair or new connection because of this. And when, like I said, again, this is reiterating that when this current connection has ended officially, they're going to take time alone before getting romantically involved again. So let's get one more clarifying card for each message. We've got the Joker in reverse, which is the Fool in reverse. So it's talking about, needing to hold their horses, because if they jump off that cliff, it's going to be a mistake. They really need to wait and make sure they got all their ducks in a row. So no new beginning at this time, a delay for the new beginning. Even, despite the fact that they know what you guys had together. So there's no doubt about that. The Four of Wands, so this person could be married. That came out for them settling for something they no longer want. And what they do want is this Four of Wands, which is domestic happiness, not the fake kind that they're currently putting on a show for the kids, but actual, stable, passionate, and comfortable home with someone that they can feel like they're celebrated in the connection, and have it be like a really romantic relationship with stability instead of a facade. And not wanting to disrupt the lives of their children. We've got the Two of Coins, Two of Pentacles, so that's talking about what I said about them juggling. It's like juggling, keeping all these balls in the air to appear to the children like everything's normal and that they have this happy, family together, this Ten of Ghosts family together, but in reality, this person is really hustling to keep up appearances, And so they might be spending quite a bit of time at work, or money might be tight because, raising kids is expensive, or even if the kids aren't in the house, they're still, contributing to the kids. And so they're trying to balance all that work and home and this relationship they no longer want, and their understanding of the connection that you shared, and the pain and the heartbreak that they caused you, and the fact that that they did love you but the timing wasn't right, and now it's like they're in another connection that they're getting out of with the Chariot card, but that they have to be really careful, not to jump off a cliff with the Fool in reverse. And they really have to work on themselves, because it's not good to jump from one connection to another, even if you have been with that person before. So yeah, they're going to be continuing to focus on themselves as much as possible, and what needs to be done for the best of everybody, but especially for the best of their kids. And they do have conflicting attitudes about it all, So let's get a Romance Angels card on this, and then we will ask the angels, whatever question it is that you might have about this reading or about this person. Attraction. This card forced its way out. You attract love by enjoying this moment fully. So this person's very attracted to you. So it's not exactly easy, for them to stay away from you. It's not like they still don't have this attraction to you, because they do. And also, I think this is saying, this person, as they focus on themselves and getting their lives together, I think that's going to make them more attractive to you. But the same is how do you say it? The other way around is also true. So if you're focusing on the things that you're attracted to as well, not necessarily this person, but just on whatever it is that gives you life, gives you joy, that makes you more attractive to this person as well. Get another Romance Angels card, please. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So the red flags, there seems to be quite a few red flags here that would need to be paid attention to. And that makes sense based on the reading. Okay. I'm going to read some from the book on here. The angels want to help you notice the unhealthy or disconcerting parts of your relationship. If you are swept up in a new romance, this card is cautioning you. Pay attention to your feelings and impressions with regard to the new suitor. Don't allow emotion to blind you to characteristics or habits that won't work for you in the relationship. A red flag is a sign that something is off. It can include dishonesty, disrespect, flirtatiousness with others, substance abuse, or lack of integrity. While your new love interest may treat you wonderfully in the beginning, it's vital that you watch how they treat others. Someone's basic character is revealed by the way in which they talk and act with restaurant staff, parking attendants, and other individuals. And if you're in an existing relationship, red flags may signal a need for honest mutual discussion or couples counseling. This card doesn't necessarily guide you to leave. Red flags can be markers along the path of healing. Romance angels will guide you to steps that are healthy for everyone involved, so follow your intuition. I feel like this is speaking to the way that this person treated you in the past. And also I feel like this is speaking to the situation that they wound up in. So I think that there were red flags to you about this connection. And there were red flags to your person about this other person. And so I don't think either of you meant to ignore those red flags. But if you did, you're just being reminded to pay attention to them now, okay? So that's all I have for you, Pile 6. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that was able to help you in some way. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time.